Hello Zimbabwe and welcome to Live Talk. We are coming to you live from Studio 7 at the Voice of America in Washington. I am your host, Tabaka Ngube. Tonight, we are discussing the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations, which rolled into life on Saturday in Côte d'Ivoire. 24 African nations in 6 groups will battle it out for the Cup. But first, Republican presidential candidates exhorted their supporters to brave glacial, life-threatening temperatures to Iowa to vote in the party's first nomination contest on Monday amid fears a predicted record called snap could keep many voters at home. Here is a report from Reuters' Gabe Singer.
Iowans are gearing up to vote in the Republican presidential primaries on Monday, with candidates urging voters to turn out despite a potential record cold snap. Donald Trump, who leads recent polls, called on supporters to brave freezing temperatures for the GOP's first nominating contest on Monday.
You got to get out. You can't sit home. If you're sick as a dog, you say, darling, I got to make it. Even if you vote and then pass away, it's worth it, remember?
The icy weather in the Midwestern state has become a wild card in a contest seen as a tone setter for votes yet to come. It may help to begin to seal Trump's bid to become the Republican nominee, and in turn face Democratic President Joe Biden in November's general election. His top rivals, former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley and Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, are banking on strong showings in Iowa to rattle Trump's dominance. But the extreme cold could throw a wrench in their plans by suppressing turnout. Iowa GOP Treasurer David Barker was optimistic voters would shrug off the frigid conditions.
We've had blizzards before. We've had extreme weather on caucus night, and it certainly is going to be cold. There's no question about that, and we want people to be careful. And but I think we'll see strong turnouts.
A Des Moines Register NBC poll released Saturday found that Trump had the most supporters, saying that they were very enthusiastic about his candidacy, suggesting they may not be deterred by a forecast for the coldest Iowa caucus night ever, minus 20 degrees Fahrenheit. The poll showed Trump with 48% of the support, while DeSantis, who has staked his bid on a strong showing in Iowa, had slipped to third place with 16%. Haley, who has capitalized on donors' disappointment with DeSantis' lackluster campaign, had jumped to second place with 20% of those polled.
The U.S. Embassy in Abidjan held an event to honor changemakers as the Africa Cup of Nations take place in Côte d'Ivoire. 4-time Olympic gold medalists and Basketball Hall of Famer Lisa Leslie spoke about what a trip to Ivory Coast as part of a U.S. delegation to the tournament means to him.
I just want to say that sports is huge, and sometimes people don't understand the significance of having children play sports. But sports puts us in a position to learn to have strength, learn to persevere, learn to get along, learn to problem solve, learn to understand that it's not all perfect and we don't all get everything that we want, but we have the strength, we have the intelligence, and we have the ability to work together.
That was a 4-time Olympic gold medalist and Basketball Hall of Famer Lisa Leslie speaking about what a trip to Ivory Coast as part of a U.S. delegation to the tournament means to him. Please stay tuned as we take a brief break.
In times of change, when the world seems uncertain and what we hear doesn't reflect what we see, we seek the truth. When we are told only part of the story, we lose trust. In moments of crisis, our dreams, hopes, and wishes for a better tomorrow depend on a free press. At Voice of America, we bring you the stories that people take risks to see. We connect the world and unite it with truth. At Voice of America, we show you the whole picture.
For those that have just joined us, we are streaming live on our Facebook pages, VOA Shona, VOA Studio 7, and VOA Ndebele. We are also live on YouTube, VOA Zimbabwe. Tonight, we are discussing the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations, which rolled into life on Saturday in Cote d'Ivoire. 24 African nations in 6 groups will battle it out for the Cup. To discuss this in depth, we are joined by independent sports commentators Brian Msekiwa and Richard Moyo. Welcome to Live Talk, gentlemen.
Hello, Mr. Mwe.
Thank you. We'll start with you, Msekiwa. We've seen the games happening in Cote d'Ivoire with the first game kicking off on Saturday. What's your assessment so far?
So far, the tournament is moving on well with a lot of surprises. It looks like most teams have caught up with the big names. For example, if you look at the game Equatorial Guinea versus Nigeria, I had to hope that Nigeria was going to win easily, but it looks like it was an evenly contested match and they drew 1-1. Then Egypt, the African powerhouses, drew with Mozambique. Who imagined Mozambique drawing with Egypt? So it looks like the so-called small teams have caught up with the big teams. Then there was also a surprise when Ghana lost to Cape Verde. I watched the match and it looks like Cape Verde had a better game than Ghana. So it looks like things have changed in terms of the results. So it's no longer a given that big teams are going to win this tournament. So I'm predicting that there are going to be more surprises as the tournament goes on.
Thank you. Moyo, tikutarisa mitambo hii. Maonero enyu maiona sei mitambo ya tambwa muswe Saturday, Sunday na nasi. Chicha mayatsoona hapo?
Regarding kwazwai brother Taboka Nove na baba Msekiwa nevatarisi nevateri vaikoso kwasiyana-siyana. Kutanga kwemutambo nemuswe mugovera ku Ivory Coast zvatinoziva kuti AFCON ya 2023 yafatwa magore akapera nauye mvura inonzi inonaya kuona Ivory Coast munguva yaJune ikazotambwa gore rino raJanuary 2024. Matangiro akaita AFCON yakatanga zvakanaka zvikuru. Chitarisa ceremony yacho yakatanga ikaona Ivory Coast ichitanga kuvhura game ravo neGuinea Bissau yechiwina chirova 2-0 Guinea Bissau. Ikava nekushokwa zvikuru tichiona Nigeria itamba neEquatorial Guinea itamba draw. Nigeria yanga yatoryiwa zvayo kunyange yakazoequalize. Tichiona mutambi ari mukurumbe weNigeria Osime achi-equalizer. Touya pagroup B takaona kushokwa kukuru kunotyisa kurwa kwaGoliath naDavid. Hatisingatarisiri kuti Egypt ingatatarika zvikuru pamutambo wayo neMozambique. Nokuti Mozambique taona ichitungamira zvibodzwa zviviri. Tichiona goalkeeper anobatira Al Ahly achitadza achiita zvakanaka. Achakazoona zvedu Egypt ichi-equalizer nepenalty yaMohamed Salah. Zvakava zviri zvinhu zvakatishamisa nokuti Mozambique yakazova yatamba. Chiona kuti nevatambi vakafanana vana Pelembe mutambi mukuru anotambira muSouth Africa matimu mazhinji akatamba, nana Domingos kutimu yeKaizer Chiefs nevamwe vatambi vana Witi. Tikazoona mutambo mukuru wakatishamisa zvikuru tichiona Ghana ichirohwa neCape Verde Island. Iyo timu tichitarisa vatambi vari muCape Verde Island ine vatambi since kubva mugore ra2017 nanhasi vari kutamba vakatamba zvingusa mvura tikaona vachirova Ghana ine vatambi vakawanda zvikuru tarisa vakomana vekaeu Andre naJordan vakazama kumira asi zvakashaya basa. Totarisa futi mutambo wataona nhasi wegroup C pakati peSenegal neThe Gambians. Taona Senegal yechiwina mutambo simbo, taona vatambi vechidiki veSenegal vachitamba futi nevatambi veGambia, taona vachitamba zvikuru. Apa takatarisa futi mutambo uri kutambwa izvozvi Cameroon neGuinea, tichiona Cameroon ichitatarika zvikuru kuti Guinea yadzoka yainge yakatungamira kufirst half, tikaona ichidzoka tisingazoti ichazopera sei. Saka tinoona kuti mitambo yegore rino ine masurprise mazhinji atara baba vamusekiwa, asi regai tione kuti kwakaita Ghana kushamisi. Takamboona Argentina paichivhura game yeWorld Cup yakatanga nekudliwa asi ikazorikavha. Saka regai tione zvichafamba sei.
Tinotenda. Coming back to you, Msekiwa. So from what you guys are saying, it seems there's only one match which didn't come as a surprise, which is Senegal versus Gambia, where Senegal won 3-0. What's your take on that match?
When I watched that match, I could see a mismatch of challenge and experience between the two teams. Senegal, it was way too good for Gambia, and it didn't surprise me that they lost by such a margin, because we have the likes of Mane, the likes of Koulibaly, the likes of the Senegal keeper who used to play for Chelsea. So there's vast talent in that team, and I predict them that the team is going to go far in this tournament. They could also make it to the finals, and they are also the champions. So it didn't surprise me that they won by that margin. And I hope Gambia is going to the group and pick up some points against other teams in the group.
Thank you. So apa tirikuona kuti ayo panenge pasina kumira mushe paSenegal apo moyo spendu wekuwela pana sikhangele imidlalo esikhangeleleyo okusasa laphana yipi oza kubugijima layo laphana?
Ngingatsho mazikhuluma imidlalo yakusasa even leya namhlanje sazi ukuthi kuzokudlala iAlgeria neAngola. Mazikhuluma iAngola, amanye amaqembu eSouthern Africa eSADC, iAngola, iZambia, iDRC neSouth Africa, neNamibia neTanzania i7. So masibheka namhlanje imidlalo zokulandela ngo10 iAngola neAlgeria.
Ngikubambe laphana mana khonapho moyo uzaqhubekela phambili kulo ofonileyo lapha. Allo lingenile kuhlelo, lingaqhubekela phambili. Ngikhuluma lo bani? Yes, you can go ahead. Yes, you can go ahead. We are talking about the AFCON 2023 games. What's your take?
Okay. Yes.
Mono kona kuendelea mbele.
Kulumanga English or Venda.
Hello,
kulumanga English or Venda.
Yeah, you can continue in English, yes.
Yeah, kulumanga.
Unfortunately, it seems we lost that caller there. Uyakwanisa ukuqhubekela phambili moyo usakhuluma laphana?
Ngithi ngisakhangela namhlanje somudlalo uzokulandela weAlgeria neAngola. Mangikhuluma sithi amaqembu lawa amanye amaqembu eSADC abomakhelwane, even masibheka imidlalo yakusasa the way sikhuluma ngakho ubuza ngakhona zokubona iSouth Africa izokudlala imidlalo wayo yokuthoma neMali. so umdlalo lo uzokuba umdlalo omuhle khulu kwamambala even masibheka igroup E i-South Africa, Tunisia, Mali, Namibia. Khulukhulu umdlalo wemali, imali nayo singayilaliseli amehlo, sazi ukuthi imali nayo icembu elihle. Even masibheka even eSouth Africa, South Africa inabadlali abahle khulu udlalela ngale eEgypt, eAl Ahly, uPestau nabanye abadlali eMamelodi Sundowns. And sizokubona umdlalo omuhle kumdlalo weSouth Africa nemali. Even masibheka iNamibia neTunisia, the way izikhanga khona sazi ukuthi iNamibia saliyadlala neCameroon kumanye amagroup, sabona iNamibia ibetha iCameroon yayadlala nedraw. So ukuthi ku-group le sizokubona imidlalo ehle masibheka iNamibia neSouth Africa, amaqembu lawa abomakhelwane bethu sokuthi semva kwabo. So into leyo into sizokuyibona ukuthi kuzokhamba njani. Even masibona njalo ku-group D sizobona kunamaqembu eSouthern Africa amathathu ku-group F yokugcina ineMorocco, DRC, neZambia neTanzania. So masibheka imidlalo le iyasikhombisa ukuthi sizokubona ukuthi isicema esithi zokuthoma, mara imidlalo yokuthoma le nayo yonke sesikhathi i-right nayo ukuthi isicema masingena etatawini futhi sithome ngokuthumba ngenxa yokuthi imidlalo izodlalwa imidlalo e3, so ukuthi mawathumba wadlala draw kusho ukuthi kuzwa right ngenxa yokuthi mawawina 3 points wadlala draw 4 points wakhona udlulela phambili. Masazi ukuthi isicema lesima group lawo kuzokuphuma isicema Z12 kuma group 2 bazofuna futhi amanye amaqembu azokuphuma kuma best number 3 I4. So izokubona eminye imidlalo, mara kuMali neSouth Africa lapho angeke asazi ukuzokhamba njani. Imali nayo iyadlala, sazi kunabadlali bakade Sadio Keita abadlala kuhle kwambala, even eSouth Africa abadlala abahle bo Hadebe bo Dr. Khumalo nabanye abo Benjamin Makhathi nabanye abadlali. So izokubona khulukhulu umdlalo ukubheka khulu ngifuna ukuthenja iNamibia neTunisia. Kungenzeka mase thenja iNamibia nayo inabadlali nabo abahle khulu kwambala masibheka abo Dion Woto no Peter Shalule udlalela iMamelodi Sundowns, ayazi ukuthi nguye umgadli ubetha amagondela amahle khulu kwambala kuqembu leMamelodi Sundowns. So izokubona ukuthi kuzokhamba njani, mara siyathemba ukuthi ku round number 2 yo sizokubheka ukuthi kuzokuyenzekalani, mara lawa asisema omaba, mara ku second round iyo izositshela ukuthi amaqembu azokuyenza njani. Ngingakhuluma lokho.
Ngiyabonga Moyo. Sekiwa, most or rather a lot of Zimbabweans are rallying for Bafana South Africa. Looking at the games that we are looking forward to later today and tomorrow, which one do you think is going to be hotly contested? But before you go ahead, we have a caller from South Africa. Hello, Joanne. Takasimba makadiko mkoma. Takasimba mapinda mchirongwa. Muno ndeipi amuri kumhanya nayo pa AFCON 2023 hapa? Mitambo yati yatambwa maiona sei mimi?
Chiripo abachiri apasani pazimbo kesana timu ashaita onekwa kuti ndiyande, but mutambo chiripo ndikuona yakarohwa kurwa kuti mutambo chiripo.
Aiwa, tinotenda mukoma. Magema atakatarisira ari kuuya apa ndeipi amuri kufunga kuti aiwa inenge ichipisa zvekudaro? Hello?
Mwana uyu Senegal ine totaisira kuti ngakwidza neIvory Coast, ndodzataura zvakadenda kumafainal Senegal neIvory Coast.
Aiwa, tinotenda mukoma. Regai tione kuti zvichafamba sei apo. Coming back to you.
Ivory Coast iri kutora.
Regai tione kuti zvichadi, rambai tichitevera tichiona kuti vachatamba sei vakomana ava. Coming back to you, Msekiwa, you can go ahead.
Yes, yes. You asked me how do I see South Africa faring in the tournament? I see South Africa doing well, but the only challenge that South Africa is going to face is Mali and Tunisia if you look at the two countries, they have an ongoing rivalry between the two countries, and the rivalry is escalated their game to another level. And if you look at the past tournaments, past tournaments that were played, Mali, Tunisia were in the same group, and at the World Cup tournament, they were sort of like upsetting each other. So South Africa coming into the picture, for it to qualify to the next stage, they have to up their game so that they can either go for a draw against either one of the two teams and win against Namibia. That can boost their chances. But my money is on South Africa on this group, and I hope they're going to do well. And as you can see from the results of the games that have been played, this tournament is we are going to see a lot of surprises. It's very unpredictable, and it's like no more. It's not going to be an easy road for the big countries or big names. So, and it's something that I also want to see other countries to emerge as winners of the tournament, so that at least the continent would be evenly balanced in terms of skill or success in terms of soccer.
Thank you there. Moyo tikuona mateams anga akatarisirwa kuti ange achikunda dzimwe nguva achidyiwa padzimwe nguva ari kuita draw apo. Zvese izvi zvingava zvichikonzerwa nei kuti paita masurprise akadai pamutambo weAFCON 2023?
Mukoma Ngove nawaenda kuti ndekuti sekutora kamaita kuti neso tiri kushamisika zvikuru nokuti matimu atina tikatarisira mazhinji ari kudliwa mazhinji atarisa izvi Cameroon yazoequalizer nayo parikutamba neGuinea. Tikatarisa mutambo weNigeria tinozwa kuti zvinoitika zvekuti matimu makuru awo ane vatambi vari mukuru vatambira kunze kwenyika vakawanda, saka vachitanganawo matimu madika akafanana na Equatorial Guinea, vatambi vaya vanonga vachizomeka show kuti neso toda kuti tindoonekwawo kunze kachinge tasvika. Uye futi chimwe chinokonza ndechekuti vatambi ava vanowana nguva dika, vawane nguva refu yokusangana kuti vagone
regai ndikubatei mukoma Moyo. Pane ari pafoni mukoma Quinton. Alo.
Muri sei baba?
Tinofara makadi.
Iri nani riri sei basa renyu?
Aiwa, basa rakanaka. Mapinda muchirongwa, tiri kutarisa mitambo yeAFCON 2023. Muri kuiona sei?
Mutambo yeAFCON 2023 ndiriona chikwata cheSenegal chichitamba bhora zviri kundifadza zvikuru.
Aiwa, saka ndo yamati muchamhanya nayo here gore rino?
Ya, ndo patori negondo rangu ipapo zvekuti Senegal ndikona senge ndiyo timu yemuAfrica ichatitorera mukombe pane matambiro yakaita anezura.
Ko matimu ari padhuze nekumusha kuSouthern Africa uku ndeipi imwe yamungada kuti mufungidziro kuti aiwa ingatamba zvakanaka mugore rino?
Matimu ari muSouthern Africa chakanishamisa nezuro pamutambo wakatambwa neMozambique neEgypt. Ndakashamisa ndichiona Egypt ichitsikirirwa nechikwata cheMozambique zvekuti Egypt yakazotowina zvazenharo chaizvo nepenalty. And Mozambique itimu dzimwe dzekuti itimu dziri pasi dzatanisikafungidzira kuti dzingatamba bhora papo kusvika kudhurisa neEgypt, because Egypt itimu hombe.
Aiwa, tinotenda. Regai tione kuti zvichafamba sei apo zvinenge zvichanakidza zvegore rino.
Ndatenda baba nebasa ramaita muchindibata ndiri kuno kuSouth Africa.
Tatenda. Munogona kuenderera mberi mukoma Moyo. Alo, munogona
vanosangana zvakanaka regai nitaure. Zvinotaura kuti matimu mahomba apa anosangana nematimu akaita madiki sana Mozambique nawo matimu vanenge vana Cape Verde Island sino vana Ghana vanenge vachitamba nesimba kuti vagone kuonekwa kunze kuvatengwe. nenyaya yekuti ndo chimiro chinenge chiri pamatimu iwawawo, nokuti anenge achitoda kumeka sure kuti kachinge tasvika uko tionekwevo tisa vanhu vanotya, nokuti sekuona kwatakaita Mozambique zvishuwa yakatamba zvikuru, tarisingambofungiri kuti Egypt, ndatifunga kuti ichawina magame, ichamwisa magol 5 sezeri timu yandochasimudza mukombe, but ndo chinoitika ichocho, nokuti havawani nguva yakawanda kuti vatrine pamwe chete, zvatinoziva kuti vatambi umwe unenge ari kwake kana vachinge vasangana, kana kuti sepamutambo wataona weSenegal yaratidza kuti yanga yakabatana, nokuti taona Sadio Mane achipasa bhora richinwa nemutambi nagoalkeeper wavo, katarisa pagoalkeeper wekuNigeria wekuGhana Richard Wofori anotambira muSouth Africa and nguva zhinji anga asingatambi, and akashoka vanhu vakawanda veGhana kuti sei coach amupa kuti abate, nokuti ndiye akaita dambudzo mabhora rakabata achipanjira bhora mugedhi ndobva ranwisa, uye futi nebhora number 2. Saka ndo rimwe dambudziko ratinoona kuti magoalkeeper haanyatsi kubata bhora zvakanaka, like pamutambo wataona wapera taona futi goalkeeper achingetowo mamistakes akafana iwawo. Saka ezinyezi ndosizivona kuti amaqembo lawo amakhulu madlala namaqembo afana abo Mozambique abo Cape Verde Island mavahlangana vona amaqembo amancane afuna kuzibonakalisa ukuthi nathi sifuna ukuthi sizingwenya nathi, even masibonile uMohamed Salah izolo ubathathelwa bhola lula, sakhumbula ukuthi Mohamed Salah ngesikhathi lesa AFCON edlulile ngase-Egypt salisabona uDivine Lunga waseZimbabwe amsogolisa khulu kwambala, bagcina basibetha, even sabona even Zimbabwe mayidlala neSenegal ku AFCON edlulile, sabona even nabasediamane iZimbabwe ibe ipressile iSenegal mara yagcina yasibetha ngepenalty. So izo izinto sizibonayo zenza amaqembo amancane, so zokubona ukuhamba kwesikhathi kuzokuhamba njani ngenxa yokuthi doyisibona ngakhona siyabona imidlalo isesemnandi.
Siyabonga laphana Moyo. Msekiwa, the games are continuing. Unfortunately, we are almost out of time, and we have a caller on the line. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, Mapinda Mchirongwa Mgoma. Unfortunately, the caller has dropped. Msekiwa, as we have come to the end of our program today, what do you think people should look forward to? We've seen a lot of surprises, and we've seen smaller teams actually doing very good. What do you think we can look forward to?
Right. So with what is going on right now, where there are no more big teams, the so-called big teams in the tournament, is going to create some anxiety. Is going to create some interest from even people who wouldn't care about the tournament. And I can see a lot of people watching the matches, trying to see upsets and surprises. And that way it will drive the interest of soccer in our continent and worldwide. So it's something that I also support, that small teams should step up and beat big teams, so that we don't have regular winners in the tournament.
Thank you. Moyo, nguva yedu ndio yatifambei, munogona kutipa mashoko yenyu ekupedzisira tichivhara chirongwa?
Ya amazwi amogcina ngithanda ukuthi kunava bukeli vemidlalo weAFCON, asi bukeli AFCON ngatidei Africa yedu nematimu yesemuAfrica ari kutamba, sidlale singabheti kakhulu imali ngenxa yokuthi abantu baningi babheta kuli kwambala bayadliwa bayakhala kuzindlini zokubhetela ngenxa yokuthi amaqembu babhetayo ayaluza, musatambisa mali zakanyanya ngatirambe sitarisa AFCON imba kuti siyasangana zepazilongwa tinotenda. Amen.
Siyabonga Baba Moyo, and thank you Mr. Msekiwa for coming on the program. And that brings us to the end of our show. Signing off in Washington, I am Tabaka Ngube.